shouldn't buy a pre-sale? Why? Everybody else is doing it. They're making lots of money. They're getting rich. Yeah, but just because everybody else is doing it and it works sometimes doesn't mean it's right for you. And we're going to explain why. There's three main reasons. Now, first off, when we talk about a pre-sale, usually we're talking about entering a contract to purchase usually a condo or a townhome. And the completion is usually many months, if not years, away down the road. So why should I not do that? Why might that not be right for you? First off, the pricing aspect. They sell at a premium. New condos, new townhomes, they're the bright, shiny object everybody wants. Some people are very wealthy and they can afford to have the luxury to just buy brand new because that's what they want to live in. Often investors, it suits them and they have the money to enter those contracts as well. But especially for first-time home buyers, you really do need to calculate, can you afford to pay that premium pricing? And then there's other cases where developers are achieving a brand new peak pricing for that neighborhood, and it still remains to be seen whether the market can truly absorb that when the development is finished. So also these products are plus GST, so that inflates the pricing even more. Now, if you're a first-time home buyer, we could compare buying a car. Yeah, the bright shiny Lamborghini looks awesome, but maybe you should be going for that solid used Toyota Corolla. It might make more financial sense. And also, like buying a new car, we all know you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. Condos aren't quite that drastic, but in a sideways market or a slightly down market, there is depreciation from a new condo and when it's 5 years old or 10 years old, even when it's a few years old. So be aware of those factors at play and make sure it works for your financial situation and your plans. Second problem, second risk of buying a pre-sale is you never know what you're going to get. How do you know what the natural light's going to feel like? How do you know what the view is going to be? You're going off of floor plans and often renderings. If you're in a high-rise condo, it's really hard to completely visualize. Are you going to be completely above the roof of that neighboring building and be able to get the great view that you're hoping for? Which direction are the windows facing? How close to your neighbors are going to be? How big the bedrooms are. We've had clients that have told us they bought a pre-sale, find out later their bed can't fit in the bedroom. So do you fully understand how that space is really going to feel? Remember that display centers have been staged by professionals. The furniture is often micro-sized furniture that really make it look bright and shiny and awesome. But when you get there with your oversized house furniture, or when you have your big bed that you're trying to get in, often it can be a different experience and a different look. So that's a problem. And then also you don't know what you're necessarily going to get in terms of community or the development overall. We know clients that bought pre-sales in the White Rock area. 2 towers were finished, supposed to be 2 of 4, and one of the big selling features was a luxury pool and amenities and rec center. Well, the market changed and the developer didn't finish Tower 3 and 4, and over a decade later, that health center was never completed. Pretty disappointing if that was one of your main attractions to investing or buying that pre-sale. So there are no guarantees exactly what you're going to get, and many contracts even allow some small modifications and changes by the developer. So that is another risk that you're going to take on if you enter a pre-sale. And if it's going to be your dream home or what you live in, that's probably going to affect you a lot more than just an investor that's hoping for a quick flip. The third risk or big disadvantage can be that long completion. Now, like we said, it's often many months or years down the road. I would say the average is about 2 to 4 years. That's a big range, isn't it? And therein lies the problem. Do you even know that you're going to qualify for financing or mortgage that far down the road? No bank's going to give you 100% approval for years down the road. Your unemployment could change. Your financial situation could change. You could lose money in investment. You could have a job transfer. You could have a spouse go on mat or paternal leave. A lot of things could happen in that amount of time that might impact your ability to complete on that purchase. And it could be rising interest rates, and that's what we've seen in the last year or two, that some people have been in pre-sale contracts have been so impacted by the interest rate hikes that they no longer qualified and ended up selling almost like a distress sale, quite urgently needed to get out of these contracts. So that's a risk and disadvantage that's worth considering. Also, if you need to move, if you're doing an upsize or a downsize or a neighborhood change, basically if you have a property that you're going to need to sell to complete on that pre-sale, it's not always super easy to line up the timing. Developers tend to give you an estimation. Generally it's delayed quite often. I've seen cases where they're completed early, but in many cases it's delayed months. I've even seen people it's delayed 2-3 years from what they anticipated. Now, that can be a real challenge if you have to know when to put your property on the market. You don't know how long your property is going to sell. You're not going to know how long a potential purchaser is going to need to complete. So how do you line that up? When we work with buyers and sellers in the resale market, often we can line those up, a sell and a purchase, line it up so it's just one smooth move and they have some date spaced in between. We can rarely accomplish that if somebody's in a pre-sale contract. And in reality, what we find most people end up doing is selling a bit early and finding somewhere to live in between. For some people, it's no problem. They can stay with family, they have a second property. For others, it's a real pain. They can be moving twice and renting for an unknown period of time. Also, that long completion can mean for a first-time home buyer that you end up renting. If you're renting, waiting for that to finish, you might end up renting longer than you think, and that money is not going towards your mortgage, and that can start to bite a little bit as well. So there's definite risks, definite disadvantages to buying a pre-sale for some people. How about you? Well, give us a call and we can talk about your personal circumstances or your strategy and figure that out together. As always, we are trying to help you navigate the Vancouver real estate market so that you can build wealth and make the smart move.